Annapolis is my home. It's, a familiar place where all my friends and family are. It's where I have some of my best memories.
I wasn't born in Annapolis, but we moved here when I was 1.
I have grown up in Annapolis and lived here pretty much my whole life.
Well, I was born in upstate New York in a very small rural town. Lived there till about 6th grade. It was a small mining town. As the mines closed and had the steel crunch industry in the 80s, my father got transferred to Cleveland. Went through high school there, and right out of high school, he got a new job here, and that brought us down to Annapolis. And once we moved in this area, I knew I would probably never leave. I just absolutely, my heart took to this town.
Well, Annapolis is a really small, tight-knit town, really, right? We're kind of, I don't know. We're very much a small town feel. Everyone kind of knows everyone.
Annapolis means a lot to me. It's an amazing city. It's very, the longer I'm here, the more I get to know about the city. I'm not from Maryland originally. My family moved here when I was in high school. We moved to Anne Arundel County, and over the years I visited Annapolis for the Naval Academy. I ended up going to St. John's College, and then ended up living here and got the job here at the police department.
So I was originally born in Nigeria, moved here in 1999, sorry. My mother won the visa lottery in Nigeria, and we all moved here at the same time. Lived in Maryland, went to high school, middle school here, undergrad here as well, and decided to do med school in DC. That was about 4 years, and then I moved over to Pittsburgh for residency, and my family is all pretty much in Maryland, so I decided to come back here to practice.
In terms of the progression of, I'll just touch big. We're talking about the history. I mean, back in the 80s, there was no place to go. There was no place to hang. My first experience was there used to be a adult bookstore on West Street. And that's where, once you were old enough to get in the door, because obviously you had to be 18, but if you look 16, you can get past. And of course they had video booths and whatnot, but that's where you then went to just be around anybody. And ironically, one night I was leaving and this gentleman caught my eye, and he kind of was asking me to follow him, but just kind of stopping and looking at me, and I went, okay. So we got in our cars, and then we proceeded to pull out. I thought he wanted me to follow him home, and I'm 16, so I'm already panic-stricken. But then he takes the first right and goes behind where there are industrial parks and parking lots and whatever. And I look around, and he's driving very slowly, and I look around, and I'm seeing that there are cars parked like this, driver side to driver side. And they're all scattered around. And then we get around, it's a full box, and then he speeds off. So I go back. Long and short of the story is I pull into one, I'm sitting there, somebody pulls up next to me, and it's somebody I know. And I'm freaked out. And they went, up! And the first thing out of Andrew's mouth was wondering how long it was going to take you to find this place. Come on, I'll introduce you to the gang. And so I drove around. And in one of the parking lots, literally the cars were parked like a wagon train, like in a circle. And that was called the Coffee Clutch. Not the Coffee Clutch, the Coffee Clutch. And basically it was this group of gay men who would hang, because there was no cell phones, we didn't know who each other were, but they were just people who had met, basically going to an adult bookstore. And where the Circle T was, there was a Hardee's. And you went and got a cup of coffee, and you joined the group. And that's how people socialized. And we'd sit there and sip coffee and talk about our days, what we were doing and whatnot. And if somebody else drove by and you fancied them, you pulled out of it, then you went parking and whatever. But that was like my first experience with any kind of gay people in Annapolis. And it was, again, people just sitting around a parking lot sipping coffee. Fast forward, that would have been 87. Fast forward to 97. 98. My grandmother died. I came home. I was directing Christmas Carol at Colonial. And this was when Tsunami first opened. And they were now having they're having a gay night. And Mickey and Eric actually were the ones saying, oh, we have to take you because Annapolis finally has a bar that has a gay night. And I'm like, oh, this will be exciting. So we went, whatever. And I think there was a DJ and then a drag queen did a number. And again, there was people, but they were a younger crowd. What was remarkable about the evening was there was a lunar eclipse that night. And so everyone was we kept checking our watches to see when the lunar eclipse was going to happen. So finally, people started to then process out to the street, and they're on the sidewalk. And they were looking over St. Anne's Church, where my mother and father were married. And if you're not familiar, but the area behind, there's a large African-American contingency that lives back around where that parking lot is, at that same neck of the woods, which when I was growing up, you never went to. So here we are standing on West Street as the lunar eclipse is happening, and I start to cry. And Mickey and Eric are looking at me going, why are you crying? And I think ironic because at the time I said, I'm having my own private Stonewall. Because I was standing on West Street with gay people, couples, who were holding hands and hugging and kissing and watching this lunar eclipse happen. And all I could think of was 10 years earlier, 15 years earlier, if this was happening, we'd all be dead. Because the group would have come around, one person could have seen us doing this, and there would have been 10 guys. And there are plenty of alleys in that area, and we'd all been just bludgeoned without thinking about it. And this was 1997, and this was happening. And I was just taken because I couldn't believe my eyes. And now, we are now 20 years after that moment, having our first gay pride parade.
So my whole childhood was here, elementary school, junior high school, and long about high school time was when I was realizing who I was, and not comfortable at all talking to friends or family about it. Tough. There were a handful of what I call dead giveaways in junior high school and high school that I knew, friends that were very flamboyant, and they suffered terribly. They were put down, they were teased, bullied, and I had this going on the inside, and nobody could really see it on the outside. So I felt a little guilty that they were suffering. And I wasn't being bullied for that, and so I was very, very careful to keep that information to myself as much as possible.
I mean, I've grown up here my entire life. I've never really known whether the community here was real supportive. Like we have, DC obviously is a very welcoming place for the community, and New York. Like those are our two closest cities that really turn out for Gay Pride Month and just to support the community in general and to celebrate LGBTQ people. Annapolis has never had that, and I've never seen that in any kind of, businesses in the area. I've never seen it in really the culture of Annapolis. Has never really had any kind of big or publicized LGBTQ events. At 10 years old, I was pretty afraid of, okay, what are these feelings, where are they coming from, and can I get rid of them? I spent the next several years trying. I dated girls for a very short time, but it never really felt right to me. And by the time I was 16, I was regularly crying myself to sleep, asking God to change me. Because I didn't want this, and I wanted to be different, and I believed, because of what everyone was telling me, that it was going to, you know, doom me to hell if I didn't change. So by the time I was 18, that's when I decided, or realized, like, hey, this is not changing no matter what.
Well, in terms of being gay, you just had to hide that part. I didn't know any gay people. I didn't have any role models. There was no visibility. There were no rainbow flags. There was no places that I knew to go that were safe and welcoming. So I think I and many other people just hid that part. I mean, it was scary because, you know, you wonder, what if someone finds out my secret? You know, what will happen? You know, will I get made fun of? Will I be beat up? You know, how will my family react to it? My friends, teachers. So I just was hopeful every day that you know, no one would notice me.
I wish that it had been less difficult for me. But I tell you, the thing that really stuck with me was talking with Jeremy and finding out about the experiences that he went through in high school and how he felt alienated and really couldn't talk to people. And I said, this is ridiculous. This is 30 years later. And he's going through the same thing in a high school in Annapolis, and that's not right. So, so that's why I'm here. I'm here because I feel it's very, very important that we have the support and role models and just access for kids of all ages, of all backgrounds, feeling like there's somebody that they can talk to or a place that they could go without having to drive all the way to Washington or Baltimore.
I think I started becoming part of the LGBTQIA+ community, I mean, as a teenager, because I did theater. I was always involved in the theater community, and I was surrounded by gay men. I mean, that's what the community is. And then I went to college. I went to AMDA, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City, and I once again was surrounded. I was in the middle of New York City. I was surrounded by gay culture in general. Like, that was my first experience with a big pride, was New York.
Well, the month of June is special for the LGBT people because it is the month in which the Stonewall Riots, which are really the start of the LGBT civil rights movement is. And this particularly will be the 50th anniversary here in 2019. So it captures special significance for the LGBT world. Again, the start of our fight for equal rights.
So this year, the fact that we're hosting the first ever Annapolis Pride Parade and Festival during the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising is pretty huge. This is a day and a month that we have the opportunity to celebrate, engage, and unite all of Annapolis and really speak to the community about why LGBTQ awareness is so important. Many lives were lost in the gay liberation and equal rights movement, and many have given their lives so that we could have the opportunity to move forward. So this is a huge, huge opportunity for us, again, to just celebrate our queerness and be ourselves.
I loved that synchronicity. I mean, I'm sure it was by design, but I just thought that was a wonderful way for Annapolis to ring it in. I mean, if you're gonna wait until 2019, then it's an appropriate start.
For the LGBT community, all the activities seem to be focused in Washington, D.C. or Baltimore. That's where most of the gay clubs are. That's where the most accepting environment is. Annapolis had traditionally been somewhat conservative, being the state capital. Times have changed, and people are, accepting diversity, and so even though, again, there's no per se gay club here, there is a culture here. We have families here, and we're part of the community, and it just became time now to say, yes, we're here, we're your neighbors, we're just like you. We want to be part of this community.
We tended to be, I think, because Annapolis is where it is between Washington and DC, that we were kind of the suburb of those urban environments, like as an LGBT community. So many people, although we knew each other was here, like we'd sort of go like, oh, we know there are other people in the town. We tended to have our Baltimore friends and our DC friends and that sort of thing. So you actually didn't sort of get to know the locals very well. And I think what our goal was like, we know we're all here. So let's provide social unity as well, just for the community itself. So we started providing, everything from social happy hours to various reasons for us to start to get together and know each other better. And I can honestly say, since we founded this organization, I now know more LGBT Annapolitans than I have in the past 25 years of me living here. I have met in the last year. It's working, and I think that's what's happened is we now are starting to know each other as a unified community here. I got brought into it by my friend Jeremy Browning, who was the founder of it. And I knew Jeremy's parents from working in theater many years ago, actually, when he was 10 years old. And then, he went off to college, and, I saw him on and off over the years and stuff. And then Jeremy eventually came out, and I started to reconnect with him back here, and he suddenly said, well, I'm starting to do this thing. It's like he said he grew up here in Annapolis and went to high school here and saw the need for it because through his own personal experience, he truly embraced, I think, the idea of, he saw what he wished he would have had and decided to build it and decided to build that community, that he wanted that visibility himself because he didn't have it. And so he invited me to be a part of it, and it's stuck with me too, and so it's been sort of all in since then in the past year.
So while I was in Pittsburgh, I met several people, friends of friends who knew people at Pittsburgh, and specifically I met one of my best friend's friend. He knows Jeremy. And I told him I was moving, I got a job in Annapolis, and he introduced me to Jeremy. And so Jeremy was actually my first friend in Annapolis.
And so today we have a powerhouse of Jeremy coming in and coming up with this fantastic idea. I've known his mom for probably 20, 25 years through the theater, and his dad also through the theater. And so when he came on the scene and was socializing and being seen around Annapolis, I got to know him, and then one conversation led to another, and it all kind of came together. So I was grateful that, that I could help out in some capacity and help with this really landmark event for Annapolis itself as a community.
When I moved here, we had just hung out a couple of times, gotten drinks and food, and just jokingly talked about how there's no real LGBTQ community in Annapolis, and how it'd be nice to just have like a LGBTQ or a gay night at a bar once in a while. And we didn't really think anything of it at that point. But somehow Jeremy, I think, started to talk to the right people, who knew about project management, and somehow a logo evolved, and somehow we started getting invited to different events, and it looked like this was going somewhere. So Jeremy decided to get a group of people together to form a board.
I'm Denise Koch. The Annapolis Police Department is establishing a departmental LGBTQ liaison. Sergeant Amy Miguez will serve as the department's first LGBTQ liaison. This liaison will be responsible for law enforcement engagement with the LGBTQ community and reporting of potential hate crimes. Chief Scott Baker says by establishing an LGBTQ liaison, we can better serve the community and take an extra step to ensure that everyone is treated with respect and dignity.
Well, I'm the public information officer for the department, which is kind of a part-time job, but I'm also in community services. So I meet with a lot of groups, people, community groups, neighborhood organizations. I go to a lot of schools and meet with a lot of kids. So I get to talk to a lot of different people. I also, not currently going to yoga. My yoga teacher will be very sad that I haven't been lately. But I would go to yoga at Ridgely Retreat, and there I met Jeremy, actually, in yoga class. And I got to know him, knew he lived in Annapolis, worked in Annapolis. And then he got interested in doing things with the police department.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Amy Miguez with the Annapolis Police Department, and I'm the newly appointed LGBTQ liaison. We have many programs at the police department that aim to build bridges between the police department and the community, and this is just one of those initiatives.
So it all started back in summer of 2017 in St. Luke's Church in Eastport. Had a rainbow flag flying on the corner. And I thought, wow, that's the first rainbow flag I've seen in Annapolis ever. And I said, I was like, why is that?
Jeremy called me out of the blue when I'd been down here maybe 3 months from New York City. And he called me and he asked me if, we could do June as Pride Month. And I literally had the phone in one hand, and the mayor's office was right around the corner from my office, and I just yelled out to Gavin. I was like, hey, Gavin, can we do June as Pride Month?
And I was like, of course. And then I think they just ran with it, and then, and it's such a great organizing group, I'm expecting big things from this parade, hopefully we'll get representation from all over the state, and it's going to be a good time,
His office responded within 2 hours. They said, absolutely, we'll definitely do that. So the mayor signed the proclamation, and it also included that they wanted to do a parade and festival in June 2019. So we had less than 12 months to kind of, bring everything together for that.
I serve on the board of directors, and I help with some of the infrastructure things. I manage the website and help promote and get the word out and educate about Annapolis Pride. I'm sort of a boots on the ground person. We're often out at social events. We're working with a library. I've worked with them on getting and supporting their efforts to get LGBT criteria in some of their programs. And so we're working and reaching out with the community and working with a lot of these community organizations. We're working with the Anne Arundel Board of Health now to do some health education for the LGBT community. And so we're starting to build those bridges into the various services that the city and the state have to offer to help grow the visibility and the accessibility of these programs. And so I've been sort of on the team with I'm also on the planning committee for the actual parade. So I'll be building a float.
Eric was working with Jeremy, and I think the subject came up of forming a nonprofit, And so being able to do that got me directly involved with Annapolis Pride, and then Jeremy asked me to be on the board of directors, which I was happy to do.
I want to say I met Jeremy about a year ago today, and I think that's when I immediately started getting involved with Annapolis Pride. He introduced me to a lot of his friends who I became to know as board members. I was asked to be on the board shortly after, and we were in the midst of planning. It kind of all happened in a blink of an eye, and it's been really exciting and thrilling so far. But my role is I'm a board member of Annapolis Pride, and I'm also the chair of the Annapolis Pride Festival and Parade that's taking place this year.
We were discussing, their aspirations for Annapolis Pride, and I said, I was certainly very supportive. And they expressed that they really wanted trans inclusion. And I made the mistake of saying, I agree with you, because the biggest fault is that a lot of trans people don't show up for these events, or they don't, come out of the closets. And so they both looked at me and it's like, oh, really? I put my foot in it. And so I had nowhere to go but to accept their invitation to become a member of the board of directors. And so I did, and they decided that I was going to be the community relations director, which I'm not sure I was qualified for, but it's one of the things I'll figure out as I go along. And in that role as community relations, I'm not as much involved in the parade or the festival, but I'm in meeting with the police, the school board, and the county government to make sure that, if there are policies that need to be addressed, we have them addressed. And giving those entities, those organizations, somebody they can reach out and talk to should they have a question or should they want a better relationship.
We're looking to, the overall mission of Annapolis Pride is to celebrate, engage, and unite the community and with our city. And to celebrate our history as an LGBT community and our history here in this town and throughout the nation, and to engage with local businesses. We want to actually, we want to be a part of the thriving all elements of the community.
I think that we're going to see definitely a shift in attitude. Like, I've never really seen gay pride exactly celebrated or anything. Even during Gay Pride Month, I've never seen rainbow flags anywhere in Annapolis. We're super fond of our Maryland flag, which is incredible, and that's everywhere. So this year to actually see rainbow flags down West Street was incredible, honestly, to see that, and the trans pride flags as well. That meant a lot to know that, hey, like, we changed out our flags for a month, because that Maryland flag is everywhere.
Well, I still have to overcome a lot of insecurities and self-doubts. And being on the community relations committee, I'm out meeting people that are not LGBT. It's one thing to meet LGBT people. You can expect a certain amount of acceptance there. But to meet people who might not even accept you or might not have ever met someone who's trans or LGBT in any sense, it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge that it'll help me grow. It'll help me understand, what their fears are, because it comes down to fears. So people will fear if you're different, and it'll help me understand their fears, and also to be able to confront those fears. It's like, no, I'm really not a threat. I want to live my life just like you want to live yours.
I think it just shows how far we've come, that we're now working with law enforcement to create safer, more welcoming communities, while recognizing that there's still a lot of work to be done there as well, that not everybody feels safe when they see a police officer in uniform. But I believe if we bring everybody to the table and we have these difficult conversations, that we can find out what we need to do as a community. Is it educating our police officers? Is it changing policies that don't, or changing policies that might, harm a particular community more than another? So I think it's really important that we keep those lines of communication open and keep improving, so that everybody is safe.
When Annapolis announced last year they made the declaration that they would recognize Pride Month, I wasn't surprised. I was also kind of thinking, it's amazing it hasn't been done before.
So when I was 12, I wanted to go to a Pride parade because I had never been to one before. So I wanted to go do a DC Pride, but my mom didn't want me to. So she put on Facebook, it's like, hey, anyone want to go to Annapolis with us? We're going to walk around and pass out stickers that she bought with her own money and pass out little flags. And then someone that works for the mayor was like, hey, the mayor would want to do this with you, like walk with you guys. And then it became like an unofficial event, I guess, and a lot of people joined. It was pretty cool. I thought that was amazing because then it kind of gets the word out about Pride and how, even though in a place where it wasn't there before, technically, where it spread and everyone can be who they are. And it made me very happy.
So when the young lady decided that she was going to march up Main Street and hand out rainbow flags last summer, I worked with the mayor's office and they all said, that sounds great, can we come with you? And it happened. And then it really took a little while to sink in that this was the first time that had happened. And so now I've been involved in the promotion of the parade and helping to get the word out about the events that are coming up. So when the flags went up last week or the week before, and I could see them coming up West Street, I thought that was pretty cool. And not just the LGBT flags, but the trans flags too. So it was a really nice touch.
So with Annapolis Pride, my hope is that it is not an exclusive event just for the LGBT world. It is an inclusive event for the entire community, just saying, we're here, we want to be part of this community, a full part of this community, and please help us do so by accepting us.
It was just, wondering, is Annapolis ready for this? Is the community going to support this? Are the, businesses and residents going to support this? We just didn't know. It was the biggest hurdle, I think, was the fear of the unknown, and will there be backlash? Will there be will there be people coming out in opposition? Will there be violence? Will there be harassment? Those were I think the biggest hurdles were just not knowing how this would be received. But we moved forward regardless, because we knew that needed to happen. It was time to happen.
that Annapolis has a pretty cool LGBT community. Yeah! And they're about to have their first Pride Parade. Yeah! So we want to thank all of you for coming out to support us. We have a lot of amazing things happening this month. We've got the Pride Parade. We're working with the library on a lot of family events. And June 29th, we will have the first Pride Parade marching down West Street.
I think I'll probably be. I'm not sure that it'll set in until. I don't know. It's gonna be a really special day, and I know it's gonna be a really special day for a lot of people. And I hope it's the start of. It's sort of like our debut in Annapolis. Saying, hey, we're celebrating. The LGBTQ community. Come out and celebrate with us. It's a day of love and community and family and friends, and I just hope that that everybody feels welcome and safe there.
The first ever Pride Parade and Festival in Maryland's state capitol is this Saturday. The parade will start at Amos Garrett Boulevard and West Street, and then will finish at Calvert and West Streets. The festival, part of the day, will begin with the parade at noon along West Street between Calvert Street and Church Circle.
On June 29th, something amazing is going to happen for the first time in Annapolis, Maryland.
I'm a born and bred Annapolitan, and I am so very excited.
We are so excited.
I'm so excited for our first Pride Parade and Festival.
The mayor's office and the town and the business communities are all coming together.
Your friends, your family, we want you and everyone to come out and celebrate diversity.
We can't be a great city until we are a great city for all of our citizens.
And this parade is welcoming to everyone.
If you've never been to a Pride Parade before, this is the place to start.
Be part of history here in Annapolis.
Things are going to kick off at noon.
It's going to be taking place right here on West Street.
On West Street, the home of the Annapolis Arts District.
There's going to be food, there's going to be music.
It's going to be amazingly fun.
It's an event for all Annapolitans to come out and be who they are and to feel safe being who they are.
with me here. I'm a proud supporter. As being a straight cis male, I'm proud to support Pride and Annapolis Pride. And just to be able to stand next to all of this.
And I am here because I witnessed Annapolis' first Pride.
It absolutely is amazing. I never ever thought I'd live to see it. When I was a kid, there was nothing gay other than me. But it was amazing when I found out that we're having it. I was so excited, and I'm so proud to see all the people that are out here, gay, straight, bisexual, doesn't matter. They're all out here just having a good time.
Prideful as hell, honey.
Amazing.
Prideful. Thank you so much. About time.
These girls
Woo, woo, woo.
We have exceeded expectations today.
Freaking awesome. The turnout here and support from Annapolis has been absolutely incredible. I've grown up in Annapolis my whole life, and to just see the support is unreal.
I think it's a long time coming, and there better be more.
Super exciting. I mean, this is the fact that this is the first time you can't tell that it's the first time. So many people out here. It's awesome.
Super excited. It's where I live, and I live off West Street, so I got to walk out to the parade in my wedges. Baby steps. I'm very glad it's finally here, and I think drag has always been kind of in your face and somewhat political always. So I'm glad I could be a face.
When we first thought about this, I was expecting that we'd get a couple hundred people, maybe about a quarter of what we had today. The fact that these streets were lined all the way from the start to the end of the parade was beyond belief. And the fact that the energy, particularly right in front of the Graduate Hotel, was so intense, it just took me by surprise that everybody, not just the LGBT people from town, but everybody came out to celebrate. It was a party for everybody.
To be here on the 50th anniversary and see booths here where not only are they celebrating, big corporate America is celebrating being gay, but they're actually hiring gays and putting up signs saying, please join our company. That's a huge progress.
It took enough time, but so I'm like, it's amazing. I'm so happy that we finally have Pride here in the state capital. Like, people forget that.
Meantime, in Annapolis, organizations were thrilled over the tremendous turnout for the first ever Pride Festival. Pride Parade and Festival, hundreds of people crowded the streets in Maryland's historic state capitol to celebrate the LGBTQ community.